ya bira ye jebe
Say bo karana washawa.
Yembo ya bira ye
One set to my word on Gana was
ye queer dim no so we any assemble kwa ebeto dwa aja fix the nation campaign for ebe call won finish saying one demonstration enra ene na nsanfa say we kwada no na ya fofida we ana eye opanyi ajekum ade abeto dwa say in fact in some try onkofo chochogu eye entabo so ne board so ne nua so ne krata so ede tinchini amonten so no say be pa dia nka banfa na nko won chocho ni nyina fanwo and that on obitimi the aye or say document fix the country placards to fix Ghana. We need some opinion ajekum ka kire aban me fa say the dean of the School of Performing Arts of the University of Ghana, Professor Kofi Ajekum, probably known as Openi Ajekum, has asked President Nana Akufo-Addo and his government communication team to take into consideration the inscriptions of the placards by the Fix the Country protesters. Inti na chese ense wa dwuma die nyina no omo keka mbom na omo fa entu na mo fa nye bibi. The demonstration hit the street of Accra on Wednesday to pour their grievances on the government. No omo kwa bonten e be kan ense ma no fi se e ha omo e de kire aban eye MP aban wote akunya so samre ana omo ka omo ha no omo be se nyaa den e de kire no na opinye kum sinka be anka aban en sorry na sa o ha ni nyina no anka aban embo modern se gofon se wo be tu yanyina anka aban be som nanka wabɔ no modern ni bia na wɔde ɛho nsɛm aba sɛ wɔbɛfa ne serious ana wɔtotwo ne nyina wɔn document ne nyina fan ho because obi nim ne besi kyina ɛbɛboa sɛ mbɛsa ne mbɛ nyina na etimi aboa in a way forward sɛ de bia de wɔn ka bia ne aban bɛkae na wɔtimi etu ho na mo sɛ bia nsuo sɛm na mo kan ya aban ntworo nyina nto sɛ nkan ho sɛm na mo kan ya aban bɔ mo ne homɔden na wɔtotwo ne nyina ɛmfa nto sɛ de bia taakyi bia na ebitimi gyina so ɛde ayɛ bibi ɛde aboa ɔman no. Honorable E.T. Mensah and also too much of indiscipline in NDC. Mr. E.T. Mensah and say only humble attachia consulted me since I left office. We so E.T. Mensah about tuja. Na ye kone ni say honorable Krediapon and ra as a copy privilege committee and him so nyina aja obese obompan for tracking shot. So the bompan for tracking shot say they be CEO na oni ho enti dwumadi na entimanye den entimi ama so na honorable Krediapon eti 90 kakra enti we enti ma ko hia privileges committee na we ana MP owo Tamale North Alasad Suhuni eda betu ja say Krediapon bompan for tracking shot. Ni say or a coward. I say coward Krediapon running away from privileges committee. As someone said, but 2 years and Krediapon. Ye shana you no eja ye friend privileges committee ni wa yes we to quarantine when to be ama me share one penny for enim and then in sema and also ekoso ewo Krediapon asema what kind because of mechanic ameswali ejua say sema what kind ya okobo Erasmus say ebianka ono ko president ko bachi Erasmus anko gwa no I will lash him. I will lash the hell out of him hands. I comment on ko pass here no and I confirm say same nyina dey buy free honorable Krediapon e privilege committee anima say ye nya honorable Krediapon entimi ambisa na enum nsem because say we ten energy kakra oni ho otukwan enti oba definitely oba ko pie privilege committee anim na ensem bi ho bi so mbisa ne bia no omo abisa ne ho ensensem na de won bia no so nim no or about to be for any ambia hu si de be pay assembly puma sibre because hu ya Ghana for be say asem we course yi de be wo bia setimi ehwe ekita kwan na be say de ko sibia no ese ye de ko na ye de ko den ye de ko bi na be bia etoto yi ewo oman Ghana yetim no because obi ntimi emfa brade nhyɛ ne nsɛm enka nsɛm bia ensɛm fata enhyɛ enye de emwa nti no ho nsɛm ana agya abrantie de ko dan parliament to nsa frɛ honorable Krediapon say omra na ko ombi ne ho no nanso enne ye kase de abrantie MP owo send off asen central Krediapon oni ho yebetimi afere say omra na ye ntoto na no ewo sa ensensem no ho nti Krediapon oni ho but abrantie bu na say oye coward oye hufo hu ahye ma ana why then what join everywhere they say went to me antenasi ama yem bisa na ehu insensem ye ko agokansie mu say wa nim say Olympic Games na ekoso na ene enura Ghana bomode qualify for 4 by 100 meters remember finals on by taking out US nya yomu nyina free mu and they qualify ko enim sa na ye ko enim no na obi enim say o ye ko enim de na say nkunim dia na eden ye babat ene ebeto jona say Ghana 87 say by na say disqualifying because ye change batan ya change ni ye ama say Ghana disqualifying say ye 7 position no cross ade free nsem je say eno so ho asem eno no asemo mranti sa baton change ya de bia high adwin ye ko enim na ene kuma Asante Kotoko coach ora beto je say kuma Asante Kotoko edin Asante Kotoko no eye din kase pa na so team no de kete din ya ne say hwe players wo mu na mo de mo na enhye da nkwani mu sa na mu mebo say edin say Asante Kotoko de team is a very very big name in Ghana football, but they don't have the core team as at now, and they make out them say Ghana a team we say the and share that Kotoko team mo say the and share that enko enim sa you know omo ho wade na omo nje team ni say dey be betumi akọ enim e dey aboa na akọ say Ghana Blasters e wodi pa na so you ko someone be and share that dey and share that enwie ye pe sa emfa mayen now yenko asem a eye iti Mensah ekọ kan wo efene sen program my friend Good Evening Ghana ati akofa say bebre aba I say ebinum say iti Mensah kwa yempam no MPP NDC party nim sorry na mo na situ dey ball kwaku the whole na situ because the position of women say no and say obi a one amanyokuo no adwenkyere enyina eyepe the quality, the views and the of the party no on the party no adwen any ensheda en sisuye but men kan article na e buy na we are then and some kan wo Good Evening Ghana no so no ya bo amawetie iti Mensah is in trouble when I walk to me and say e ba ko hwe hu sensem bebre ho they say iti Mensah na say ho akwa adwa mu nti no ne ho say ho akyen de say nye asem kwetua we as NDC member files petition against his anti-party behavior so, the same you know no the ball in a bema kwaku ndeho anu bi no me bo 18 Mensah say the super bia wodra di no anti-party behavior and the party ne hyehyeye no enhyeda ensisi so because wakaka sem bia amufi say is different from what the party know it na we say the company for him no be teaching sim no bie esa de ne ye buna na situ a ne sa it know a member of the National Democratic Congress a former work that no work and housing minister na no hati bialim no eden odi by say there honorable 18 Mensah na NDC for say that be nsem bia okeka no enhyeda emwa ene NDC no odomunim no ene de oka no as a difference kakraka pa na wom enti ne 18 Mensah show sebra mpanifo no baba yiwa no nsem a woka no be chichirim come and spoke inside na ye hu de obese woka potin na as nsem na woka no de da bi enhyeda ento amanfo asumsa eti we ene ya fra 18 Mensah e wo mpanifo no se omra na onso meden onfo no disem embetu dwane ye hu nye opeso che pote e wo san nsem na widen wakoka e wo fn saying Metro TV e wo Good Evening Ghana so ama akoye nsem bebre nsem pi ana ekoso e wo sa nsem ho eti no ye ko 18 Mensah ka chia na nsem a no so e wo e ho no obesia 18 Mensah akwa yete ne kaje o hye opa na nse obe ka se wo na meka no obe ka se wo ETV we ka se wo fence e wo Good Evening Ghana na akos Pakistan nsem we nyina e di aba so quickly ye ba ko tie nsem a 18 Mensah be kan 18 Mensah obe ka safa sa Saglemi project ya ekosi na obeka obeda na sem betuja na akwakofa nsem bebre akospa kan nsem bebre e di aba ba ko tie esempotin a honorable 18 Mensah kan tie a ye se omba beyi na no ewo bedwam na de ho bia no omma atifo so ntie nsem a ekoso ewo ETV ewo Metro TV emra okochi a Good Evening program adomotre program so
Summit begins. In the year 2012, the NDC government, in line with its vision for addressing housing deficit in the country secured a loan of 200 million from Credit Suisse International for the construction of 5,000 affordable houses. So this is the fact of the matter. This is what Sami Jenfi says. That NDC in 2012 secured 200 million for the construction of 5,000. So let's keep that in mind. 200 million for the construction of 5,000. Okay, let's move on. The terms of the loan agreement was approved by Parliament in 2013 in line with Article 181 of the 1992 Constitution. Parliament only approved the loan agreement and not the works agreement for the project. Okay, now this is getting controversial now. Sami Jenfi's statement says that Parliament approved the loan agreement. They did not approve the works. But we will see the parliamentary approval and then we will understand. But he says Parliament approved the loan. They did not approve the work. So Parliament approved 200 million. They did not approve the details of what the 200 million was to be used for. Okay, let's move on. It is instructive to note that the Minister of Works and Housing at the time, the Honorable E.T. Mensah, and that's why we have him in the studio today. His name appears everywhere in this Saglemi project. The Honorable E.T. Mensah informed Parliament during the debate on the approval of the loan facility that the 5,000 housing unit will not be built at a go, but rather over a period of time. That is in phases. Okay, so Sami Jenfi quotes E.T. Mensah and says, E.T. Mensah told Parliament that we're not going to build all the 5,000 at a time. We will assume it's for the same 200 million. We'll assume that the 5,000 is for 200 million, but he's saying that E.T. Mensah told the House that he's not going to build all the 5,000 at the same time. Guess what? E.T. Mensah is here. He's in the studio. He'll tell us what he told Parliament. Anyway, let's move on. This is captured in black and white in the Parliamentary Hansard of 23rd October 2013. Sami Jenfi makes a clever reference, which we like. We like that because we like research. He says, whatever E.T. Mensah said, don't take it from him. Go to the Parliamentary Hansard. It's right there. You can see it. Okay. Number 4, subsequent to the grant of parliamentary approval, the Ministry of Works and Housing under Honorable E.T. Mensah again prepared and executed a works agreement with the contractors for the project. Contractor was OAS Limited. So E.T. Mensah did some work, he put it together, and then he put together the documents with the contractors, contracted OAS. Okay, it is in the works agreement that the government decided to build the 5,000 units in 4 phases. Okay. The consultant for the project was AESL. Note that Parliament had already approved the loan agreement. Okay, this is also very interesting. That's what the NDC is saying through Sami Jenfi. Now, this is interesting because he says that the agreement was for 5,000 houses. E.T. Mensah and the contractors decided that they would do it in 4 phases, and that the consultant for the project was a government consultant, and that Parliament had approved the agreement. So we will assume that 5,000 houses for 200 million. This is the NDC statement. 5,000 houses for 200 million. Okay, let's move on. And therefore, the works agreement, which was an issue of implementation by the ministry, was not required to be approved by Parliament. Okay, great. So Sami Jenfi is building a point that 200 million for 5,000 houses. A works agreement was agreed between E.T. Mensah and the consultants. That works agreement need not go to Parliament. It need not. I'm not sure what is the difference between a works agreement and produce 5,000 houses, because the obligation which you will see of the government was that Parliament gave to the government was, we are going to approve 200 million for you. You are going to build us 5,000 houses. Yes, you can decide to do that in phases, but that should not change the figure unless Parliament is part of the change. I think we can understand that. We have approved 200 million for you. You build 5,000 houses. You can do it however you want. Many phases, other phases, 3 phases, 10 phases, 4 phases. But you have 200 million to build 5,000. Okay, that doesn't come clear here from Sami Jenfi's statement at this stage. He says that the works agreement was not an issue of implementation by the ministry, and it did not require Parliament's approval, which will be deciding to do it in phases. I think that's what he's saying. If you decide to do it in phases, you don't need to go back to Parliament. Somehow we can agree with that. Okay, let's move on. Under the works agreement, government was supposed to provide a service plot of land with roads, water, electricity, drains, sewage systems, and other ancillary facilities for the smooth takeoff of the project. Okay. The cost of which had not been factored into the amount of $200 million approved by Parliament for the project, since the government did not have any funds to fall onto to discharge these responsibilities. Voila! Here is the filling of the lacuna. Let's start. Very interesting. He says under the agreement, the government was supposed to provide service plot, which makes a lot of sense. Service plot of land with roads. Government is supposed to provide roads, water, electricity, drains, sewage system, and other ancillary facilities for the smooth takeoff of the project. However, the cost of these things had not been factored into the amount of $200 million. So when Parliament approved $200 million, Sammy Jefi wants us to believe that the $200 million was excluding the ancillary facilities that needed the project to work. That is roads, sewage system, etc., service plot, generally a service plot. A plot that has water connection, has electricity connection, that all of that was not part of the 200 million. Government was supposed to provide that. He says also that government did not have money to fall on to make these commitments. He says, let me take it from here. It says the cost of which had not been factored into the amount of 200 million approved by Parliament for the project, since the government did not have any funds to fall onto to discharge these responsibilities. He said the government didn't have any funds to fall onto to discharge the responsibilities. Therefore, the decision was taken by the ministry to use part of the approved amount of the project, 200 million, for all the necessary ancillary works to pave way for the construction of the housing units and to make the project site a commercially viable and habitable community. There we go. So the Attorney General is prosecuting that you were 200 million was approved for the entire project. The NDC says 200 million was approved for the project itself. That 200 million did not include all the ancillary things that government as a partner to the project had to do. The project is being done, the loan is being taken, project is being done by a contractor, government is his partner. Government provide me the land, I'll build the houses. Sammy Jefi says to provide the land in a service plot, it excluded 200 million. Government didn't have money to do all of those ancillary works, sewage and all that. So government had to take from the 200 million for that purpose. Okay, so we are getting somewhere. It says, this is what informed the decision by the ministry to do the project in phases, as the Honorable E.T. Mensah had already intimated to Parliament. Clearly, the 5,000 houses could not be built at a go. Yes, that's true. Also, the initial drawings presented to the Ministry of Works and Housing by the developer was based on a Brazilian building code, and it wasn't fit for the Ghana setting. Yes, so you have seen it. The original drawings was from Brazil. It was somehow not fit for the Ghana setting. All the Ghanaians around the table, including E.T. Mensah, who is here in the studio tonight, found out after Parliament had done the approval that the original drawings you had brought was not fit for Ghanaian setting. They all found out later. 275 members of Parliament, the parliamentary committee, they considered a loan for 200 million, a loan for a housing project. They didn't ask for the drawings, or they asked for it, they saw it, they didn't notice that it was Brazilian setting. Sammy Jefi doesn't tell us how we came to that realization, because maybe he should have added how we came to that realization, that in the course of a meeting, one very clever consultant said, hey, wait a minute, this is fit for Brazil, it's not fit for Ghana. He didn't tell us all of that. Now, this is where we are. Okay, so let's summarize what Sammy Jefi is saying. So he's saying that 5,000 units approved for 200 million. Government found out that they didn't have money to do the ancillary work, the plot, sewage system, etc., etc. So they took money from within the 200. That means that 200 will no longer be for 5,000. Maybe at that stage, Parliament should come in. At the stage where you realize that the 200 million Parliament approved will be insufficient for the 5,000 because you have to borrow from the 200 to do something. Maybe, I'm not a judge, I don't know, but maybe for the sacrosanctness of Article 1812, you may have to go back to Parliament and tell them that, Mr. Speaker, we have found out that we are unable to do this, so we are asking Parliament to approve another 30 million for the Saglemi project. That would have brought you 230 million. If, for instance, you value that you needed 30 million to complete the project, maybe that's what should have happened. That's what should have happened. I'm guessing, I don't know. When we open the phone lines, our people are here, you can start sending the text messages to them, and they will talk about it. So that's Sammy Jefi's first point. His second point is that whilst we approve 5,000 units of houses, we go through a works agreement, which is done by the minister with the contractor. At E.T. Mensah's stage, the works agreement was in 4 phases, to deliver the building in 4 phases. At Dauda stage, he brought it down to 3 phases. That has nothing to do with changing the 5,000. Then he concludes by saying that the payments that were made, certificates were issued by AESL and others. It's Ministry of Finance that paid. It's not Dauda that paid. So why are you charging Dauda? That's the point Sammy Jefi is making. And he's also saying that if you are charging people for this matter, then you should charge Atachian as well. Because he also did some amendments to the works, which he didn't take to Parliament. out of which 5.6 million was paid by Atachian's Ministry of Finance. That's Sam Ejenfi's story. So what did Parliament approve? We know 200 million for 5,000 houses. Is that what Parliament approved?
Yeah, 5,000 houses, because again, we brought in the off-taker. The off-taker was the home loans.
Ghana home loans.
Ghana home loans.
To off-take all 5,000?
Yeah, to off-take all 5,000.
And then hand it over to workers.
Yeah, to workers. We had then even registered workers.
Who were going to occupy
who were interested in it.
I see.
Yeah. They registered and
so Ghana Home Loans was supposed to off-take and pay the money to who?
They off-take and pay the money to Credit Suisse.
Oh, Credit Suisse directly to pay the loan as it were.
The loan.
Okay.
Because the loan was paid lodged in Bank of Ghana.
Okay.
And the interest of the creditor was who was going to pay.
Okay, yes.
STS, Ghana government, even gave a sovereign guarantee.
Yeah.
And because of that brouhaha that happened, government wasn't interested, and the time was so short to even think about any sovereign guarantee. So we're lucky that home loans came in handy and decided to be part of the project.
Oh, I see. So this is interesting. So you were going to bill for Ghana Home Loans to pay the off-taker, and then if there was any more money.
Exactly.
Okay,
yes,
so 200 million was approved by Parliament.
Yeah.
How much were you going to spend on road and sewage and all
No,
that?
the details are there. I can let you have it later. Because
okay, but
they did all that. Sewage, when you go there, all the asphalt that you see over there.
It's all part of the 200 million.
200 million.
So if somebody tells us today that the 200 million excluded sewage and road and a site for the land, a service plot, we should not believe that person.
That person doesn't know what he's talking about. Because we have all the facts, and let me tell you, I'm surprised at what is happening, because when Prof died, and some of us were removed, and new persons went. When you are leaving as a minister, you are leaving an office as a minister, you prepare handing over notes, detailed handing over notes. And I have my copy, and the person that I handed over to was Collins Dauda. He knows it, and he should have a copy as well out there.
And in those handing over notes, we will see that the 200 million included all of the other ancillary things.
Yes, certainly. There was no way we wouldn't have stated all this. And not only the housing, all that we did out there, everything.
What about the drawings? We are being told that some drawings were given to your ministry. You people found out later that the drawings were not fit for purpose. They are from Brazil.
It's absolutely not true.
It's not true.
It's absolutely false, palpably false.
So what about what do you know about the Brazil drawings?
I was in Brazil drawings. I am not a technical person, so we set up a technical committee which worked on this.
So the document you took to Parliament, did it include drawings and all that?
No. You don't take drawings
to Parliament. Okay.
To Parliament.
How many phases were you going to complete this in?
5,000 houses, first phase. Straight.
One phase, build all the 5,000?
Yeah.
But we are being told that you were going to do it in 4 phases.
It is lie. It's a lie.
It's a lie?
I was not involved in any phases. We knew that we wanted 5,000 houses to be built for workers, and it was approved. Executive approval was given, and then Parliament approved it. So if anything at all, if I wanted to change anything, I'm not a kid. I will have to go through the same process.
Back to Parliament.
Somebody, gave the executive approval. So if in his absence there was somebody there, so I would have gone to that president who was there and asked for through the technical
get another
committee.
executive approval and then go back to Parliament.
Exactly. You cannot go to Parliament and have something approved and then you come home and decide to do what you like. So when you were going through those things, that was just like, what is this? Can people lie this way?
That's serious. Okay, let me hold it there. And we wanted NDC Mensah to talk also about the MMDCs. Maybe we have to do that another time. But let me come to you. Sami Gyamfi begins. In the year 2012, the NDC government, in line with its vision for addressing housing.
Okay, nti na de eko eso eno no na numu na honorable Sami Gyamfi so ka say asema Mensah kan o wanu yie wo ho because as ensemi wo ha wa twist no twist and turn nti no e wo so no so timide nanu yie eba wo Saglemi project ya se mills shase se Mahama na shase he want to clarify all those facts now. Mr. Mensah ekotena good evening Ghana ekan and to Sami Gyamfi dan no sem ebetu dwa je say na wo say o chima Ghana 40 want say we either say NDC Mahama no so ni nyina NDC project nti no there is no need say ye babe no long bia nti obeka sai efa sa ensem a Mr. Mensah so betu dwa no ho ewo okotena fence ewo program efe no ekosi sen ewo multimedia for station baako asempa ho ana Mr. Sami Gyamfi ekotena se eso na nsem ekotu dwa because no be say Ghana fo hunu kure ne bibia ewo mu se dia asem tie poten nyese bia ye kana se ne ja to sa ada bi na asem bia ne kure ene ma asem nkurim bia den etimi ebaba se ne kure ni ma ye hu asem ne se tie ye hu ne tie hu na ye hu bia internet there's best in say obaba be chichiri mu say we ni an kasa na eden ana ekọ so ewo saa ensem a omo eka enimu eti Sami Gyamfi ko asempa ene obi ekotena ase de kwese dwumedi no ehyehyɛ so na sei ana ono so den eka ewo eho enom yenko na yenkuti ensempoti a Sami Gyamfi eso de tudwa ewo mra ohia obi on this same issue concerning Saglemi who project ya say we be fa bia no ani asema obi ayi den eka ewo oman Ghana yenko quickly na yenti asema honorable no mama okay efa sa ensem no yenti no
obi me da se really kai na Mensah so nchia etifo
Yes.
Saglemi housing project asemi asem wa hu hia ye because efa adan ho nsem na wonim se obi Ghana how ba akopa ye wo adan ho nsem a just say why the ama woman ye because adan na wo woman ni mu.
Yes.
Rent is a big challenge especially for enyumayefo and unti say omampanyi mails omampanyi Mahama breso aban no nya adwempa ene nsusuye pa efiti ase se yensi adan na Ghana fo nya baabi ntina Ghana adwumayefo nya baabi ntina na be se mfie num ni omampanyi akufo ado ne MPP aban foforo abetena so na adwuma no yagya yasi ho akromfo akum last time reports bia na mecheche se emunye makra na yewiewia edan no process ha ayade a asefempa because ayade a ebo man ka mfaso wo senka wo manfo nya firi mu no ehwere yen. So this is a matter of considerable public interest and until now to sa frame no meje penese meba na ebi ma mini kanche mu se sebio enye I'm not here to banter or to necessarily respond to the papa opinion honorable Mensah, man I respect so much. Growing up as a young man, I used to listen to him, look up to him and all that. I'm not just here to just respond. Say nipa beti Saglemi housing project ne ehon semwa banase. No man who say there are people like what say yebo mu kwadu for mismanagement relative to that project and omono are working free. And rather no more my adwuma pa enke so betumi aso aba pa mo my Ghana and ye persecute or more time or more kwano. Sanchichi mu ne sa no kra ne nyama abonte magana fo bebre ntie no eno ne da makoma so ye pa enne me de da makoma so ne se ye bewie no na adanse ne nkrata ye de bedi nkomo ni nyina na magana ni bia opeso hu asem ne mu nokra hu mu nokra se these are the real corporates we mu na wo se ye de asem ne ho so bobo mo enyo mo a ye de o makogina court when they have done nothing wrong. But since this is your platform, now what can about tape for more than 10-15 minutes?
15 minutes.
Now I say you started free on I will deal with it because one way now I say, oh, you don't have a response. Yeah. The watch the bar until far as 7 hono. Ucham kuntumpu and opinion about expose, so you don't want to talk about it. So I'll just stick to the issues and the facts because the BMA maker say we are all entitled to our opinions, but we are not entitled to our own set of facts with all due respect. So and just coming out to say Ubia Kasem a pack of lies and no improve unless you are able to demonstrate say yeah Sami Jenfika wasi A but enye A krata ana dance e wo huni e B na ne na wakasa bet wo de wa no fafa ana wa no tra ka se bibi nya no kre no wan fa dance e bi amba I will be jubility about that. You ask yourself, really, do people understand what is at stake here? Ebium sono the fact say will be a dear kumyabida will be a minister for a certain sector. And she say adibia sa opinion about that sector no. I was see a jitum hook line and sinker because idea kunya or identity the okay be no cre. Because in the consideration, the approval and the implementation of Saglemi housing project I can want some no. And ba akofo ni di hu dwuma. So start free baby obi be drew baby obi beto so ntimpanyufo bebre wo Ghana ha o ma di sa dwuma de wat nti ban ye. So ntimi mfa ba akopa account. Na de kra wo mu ne se the course ni nyina na ho dance ye won krata mu matters of public record. Sechinyaje BC and as will be bibia, we can refer to those records to settle the issues in dispute. And that is what I seek to do. Did the kind of issues projects in the crown President Mills Nema who executive approval. And yet President Mahama project Nadia Kekahon Obi. Nyamyanim Nukrini. The facts don't support that claim. I mean President Mills or your NDC. This is a President Mills crown a year project now. A still NDC project. A still NDC legacy. And when I make right up I'm here, no one who say me can say we a John Mahama legacy and a President Mills may say a former NDC government. So na President Mills are buying NDC government and I'm a boy. So na President. So whether the credit should go to President Mills or President Mahama or both, it is still NDC. And but I am here the matter of as fact, a national.
This is a project that started under Mills. Fact.
The project was conceived under Mills. I didn't say yes, a dino 5,000 near Pamwa Ghana phone. A certificate President Mills at Bresso. Okay. And amount to a one who Jubedi be breed certificate in Bresso. Okay. But the Yano Cressa executive approval a President Mills na the project. The executive approval was given by President Mahama.
The AG's factor, the court no supports that. So, President Mahama signed executive approval.
So, I didn't know. People know the truth, but Omo can't as a for. Obi my main kind way be ana. And then me to be an chasey. Na man for no craniaka. This is a letter of acceptance. Emra a binding contract and a contractor no. OAS. Omo actually the bra buying. Accepting the award and I said the decision to award the contract. Let's say, Honorable Minister, Development of Affordable Housing Units. The Office of the President, in a letter dated 15th August 2012, with reference number OP/CA13 gave executive approval to the Ministry of Water Resources, Works and Housing to enter into a public-private partnership to develop affordable housing units in all the 10 regional capitals. What is the date? Krata ise omampenya no tia konyaso ema executive approval 15th August 2012. Obi me pacho wana na yemampenyi.
Yeah, at the time now President Mills said about I think a month or two earlier.
That was even in June. Until President Mahama. Yeah. So it is not factual. A BM parliamentary approval no, and then the kitam here. Recorded in the Parliamentary Hansard of 31st October 2012. Me pacho no so boa me hwana na yo mampenyi.
John Dramani Mahama.
Me pacho project no so no. A whole EPC agreement which was signed by Honorable E.T. Mensah and Emeka Huasem. That's the works agreement, the engineering, procurement and construction agreement
yes.
between government of Ghana and the contractor. No? It dated 4th January 2013. And then they kita me.
Yes.
If I try also 4th January 2013, one and your man penny.
It was John Mahama.
So the executive approval, the parliamentary approval, and the EPC agreement in Mahama person. But that doesn't take anything away from President Mills. Because now Bresson Adrian Pono any anamuntu near day.
A lot of the work happened.
And all the credit still goes to the NDC. So fact number one, facts don't lie. All these documents did one that say. Then secondly, send a about question also about 5,000 houses to be built
at a go
with $200 million.
Yes.
And that is what Parliament approved. I mean, dealing with these issues, Parliament approval agreement, Honorable E.T. Mensah say, and no cre, said there are many pennyphobia say the agreement was supposed to be implemented in phases.
In phases, yes.
In fact, Paul Adomo Tribisa say, is it true that an agreement was he implemented in 4 phases? Because I had alleged that in my write-up. Papa, on for E.T. Mensah, I said there was no phases. It was not supposed to be in 4 phases. And I'm a boy. I was here again in a
yes.
Obi, and also no facts no. I work crata so clearly. You are Honorable E.T. Mensah no one and Sasha Siano. And support us claim. I won't begrudge him. I don't hold anything against it because if Papa was some of my Ghana check. And we free a community so no a check. And then no crown no crackers and yes, I am a winning na ekitano na a winning team. Inti bibi beti ma yene nifaso and bibi beti me ayano sebio a refi. But I believe say waje brena or refreshing in memory obi hu said ye mekan no na ye no create trudo. First of all, yen starting free parliamentary approval no. Na yen call column 454 of the parliamentary approval of 31st October 2012, where the approval of the loan facility agreements, Obi. Now, utie, and I think this part of the hands that cry no, it was social media, nipa bebrehu. About the last paragraph now, Honorable E.T. Mensah, sorry on a point of order. So, to correct a false impression, na Obi person will criticize ye BC 5,000 houses are boom precopa abre adiana ye babe no client test ye so hwe ne de keka ho. And that honorable member was the venerable Papa Uswankoma of the MPP.
Yes.
Nti we hwe ne comments ni bia na waka say, so I ask myself, honorable Papa Uswankoma neka say, why do we go in for an untried, untested, and unproven technology at such a large scale? This is because we need housing, and we must start from somewhere. So we are not starting with 100. We are not starting with 100. We are not starting with 5,000. We are starting with 5,000 for $200 million. Mr. Speaker, sometimes in taking some of these decisions, the weight of that decision must really influence us. If we were using our own private resources to do this, would we be prepared to do that? Because this agreement, not the duration, 18 months. Parliament approval within 18 months.
18
I was here.
Yes.
Now, Papa was one come and say, now within 18 months. Now, also, we sit down 5,000. Technology, also, use to won't be that. I had the for our deba. It had the started from somewhere. And Honorable E.T. Mensah, sorry. And also, Mr. Speaker, this issue is about taking $200 million. This issue about taking $200 million, let us put things in perspective. E.T. Mensah, Honorable E.T. Mensah, I said this company, as we have said, has been existing for 6 months, and they have entered into an agreement with Ghana Home Loans. Ghana Home Loans technical team has also examined. This is because they would be the off-takers. The houses would be built and they will buy them off. Now listen to this. This is Honorable E.T. Mensah speaking. We are not building all the 5,000 at a go, but over a period. This is Honorable E.T. Mensah. So whereas Honorable Papa Owusu Nkrumah was claiming, say, precope agreements.
Asempa FM.
Yeah, baba, be sit down 5,000 over 18 months. Technology no krana ya defo for yen son hwe. Aden ye nyanto wase na yen starting kakran no. Honorable E.T. Mensah be ka say debi. Yen sini nyina mum. What you say? Ye be yen kakra over a period. And they are dedicated. Now, Parliament approved agreement we on 31st October 2012. This was just the loan agreement. It said was say you co implement. Article 181 say ko jebosi and fakom rashe bedwam no mo approve. And no who approve and but now was here co implement. It was here no contract and sign works agreement, the EPC agreement. And no, and Honorable E.T. Mensah co sign on a sign on the 4th of January 2013. Now was the agreement in the Monobi. Obi antie me kan me wi a me de be hye won sa na wo so wahwe bi na yahwe
me copy wa hanti don't worry.
Paragraph 1 2 3 4 paragraph 4. Whereas the Ministry of Water Resources, Works and Housing has agreed to provide the site located at Saglemi, Greater Accra region, with an area of 2,172 acres. The contractor and the ministry have agreed that the project will be executed in 4 phases of approximately 500 acres each, incorporating the infrastructure and layout for the 4 phases, and that this phasing be incorporated into this agreement. The first phase is set out in Annex B. So Honorable E.T. Mensah agreement when a yen share say ye be sit down 5,000 but ye nsi ni prekope ye be ye no in 4
phases
on
Asempa FM and Trobeni. Check the 3rd paragraph. Or say, whereas by a letter to the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning dated June 28, 2012, Ghana Home Loans has indicated its willingness to disburse funds to a stipulated account held by the employer and the contractor to offset Government of Ghana's liability, and Ghana Home Loans shall be responsible for the marketing of the project and will deposit all pre-sale amounts into the stipulated accounts for use in funding payments under the project for what? Future phases. Not just say, can you say, Honorable E.T. Mensah, bro, so after the parliamentary approval, you will say, Jumano, nobody can about parliamentary mania that say, me sini prekope, meyen and kakran. And in line with what he told Parliament, our Parliament approval, you know, which is not a variation, because people say you varied what Parliament approved. That is exactly what Parliament approved. He came and did an agreement and said, yeah, but 4 phases. And I say, yeah, phase 1, we are Ghana Home Loans for your off take or mobile toy free. Na sike be free mabano. Ya could be account edisikana too. Na says sikano na future phases, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. And this is exactly what I said in my write-up. And this is captured black and white in the agreement. And those are documents in the me person me do we check camera na obi ahwe and how they boy me.
No, open almost sign.
One signature
the agreement in which is the EPC agreement. The Ministry of Water Resources, Works and Housing signed Honorable Enoch Mensah, Minister, and Chief Director of the Ministry, Alhaji Ziblim Yakubu, and he were on behalf of Constructora OAS Ghana Limited, Andrew Clocanas, Executive Chairman Ghana, and Business Development Manager Josimar Fier, and I say Fryer was and also SI. And 4 people signed the EPC agreement.
Yes.
Yeah.
So clearly, you sure say your penino unimunyam for E.T. Mensah. So je brena okaka in ho. No correct agreement on one kasa sign ya. Obe say no create through those say or catch Parliament say on see 5,000 adan ni nyina prekope.
Yes.
Obeye ne kakra over a period.
We
ye no sanso koya agreement. Eye nhyehyeye wa agreement no so obe nkakra no obeye
on
Asempa FM 4 phases. Na phase 1 ye ton a ehu sika no ye dia ye phase 2 na ye dia to aso saa kopim se ye bewie the 5,000 house. And this asam na meka any no do say the project was, as approved by Parliament, was not supposed to be done at a go, and also as captured in the EPC agreement, it was supposed to be done in phases. It's here the second and the most important issue.
But again, on this one, into phases, yes, I will have say 4 phases, but the point should be made. Say, for all the 4 phases will end up giving us 5,000 housing units, which would cost us $200 million, right?
Yes.
The 4 phases will end up giving us 5,000 housing units.
Yes.
As per what Parliament approved.
Yes.
And it will cost us $200 million.
Parliament approved to say.
Yeah, for $200 million, NC 5,000.
5,000. So that's where I'm coming to now.
Super.
Because the main issue, which Honorable Mensah also raised, they say, Parliament can say for $200 million.
Yes. NC 5,000.
So if I don't hear the charges against...
That is what the facts say.
No.
Okay.
We heard the charges here. The Honorable Collins Dauda is based on that thing. Say Parliament can say, you approve $200 million. You can see a die 5,000.
Yes.
The Senate project in phases it should have been 5,000 houses for $200 million.
Absolutely.
Into a day na you cut so 2,502 or 1,412, and yes, at $200 million. That is the accusation. Now me person me chirimu ye na ubia tisasemo yase. It is so simple as what you say. Ube mu se sebi ebinom na ida say omunyanti asem na say anase boapaye omutum futuro because
FM.
The documents ni nyina no are very clear on this. Obi mame putting on records that's how semna MPP4 can Honorable Yeti Mensah can ayampa. Parliament can say we prove loan $200 million. Yemfancy are dying 5,000. It is clear.
Yes.
Nemum Parliament can was approve animu say. San Shishayano. Say for $200 million, and could see a dime 5,000. Infrastructure and kahon.
Parliament said that in the agreement
in the Hansard.
Which part?
In the approval. So check column 437.
Okay, maybe.
Column 437 of the Hansard.
Okay, I'm coming.
Column 437 of the Hansard. I can give you my copy.
No, maybe I have my copy here.
Okay.
So let me. In the column 437, you said. Okay.
Yeah. In fact, let's go to. I'll start from 437, but I'll come and end at 438. So cost of units. A diner parliament approves in nebo. It was noted that the 5,000 housing units will be constructed by Constructura OS Limited in various locations in Accra over a construction period of 18 months.
Yes.
The distribution of the apartments will be 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom flats of 80 square meters and 120 square meters respectively. The indicative cost of the units are $29,000 for the 2-bedroom and $57,000 for the 3-bedroom.
Yes.
These unit costs exclude financing costs and the cost of land and infrastructure.
And your understanding of that is?
What this means is Parliament is saying the approval loan.
Yes.
Not that per Article 181 of the 1992 Constitution, what actually Parliament is proving is the loan facility, the terms and conditions of the loan facility.
Yes.
And Honorable Mensah Kraka said, Omoko Parliament, and there were no drawings. So they based on indicative prices, quotations, which are preliminary estimates from the contractor. Almost 200 million based on the quotation, 5,000.
Okay.
But almost say infrastructure eye akwan because asase ne over 2,172 acres. Enti akwan a yebeye no woso. Drains a yebeye no woso. Sewage a yebeye no woso. Recreational facilities a yebeye no woso. Nkani a yede beko ho. Ensu a yede beko ho. Enkasa sika we ho.
That is your understanding of what you read.
It is not my understanding. That is the meaning of it. It is English. You say the unit cost of the building must have 5,000 almost. It excludes the cost of land. In fact, it excludes financing cost. The cost of land. Land was for free. So I know the actual work. And infrastructure. So what am I saying?
And mind you, say when you from the report of the committee on the plenary.
Yes. Which was approved
by
Parliament.
Yes.
So cost that is a parliamentary position.
It was noted that the 5,000 housing units would be constructed by Constructora OAS Limited in various locations in Accra over a construction period of 18 months. The distribution of the apartment would be 2 bedrooms and 3-bedroom flat of 84 meter square and 120 meter square respectively. The indicative cost of the unit are $29,000 for the 2 bedrooms and $57,000 for the 3 bedrooms. These unit costs exclude financing cost and the cost of land and infrastructure.
Yes.
And you are saying, sir, your understanding of this, no, and it's the $200,000, no, $200 million was for just the 5,000 houses,
and it excludes. It's not my understanding. Just to say that's the meaning of what you have read.
No, that's the meaning of what I've read.
Who another meaning be?
You are putting your understanding onto this.
Or any contrary understanding.
No, my question to you, based on what you've said, and it said, then how much was supposed to be the cost of all the other facilities? And where was that money going to come from?
Good. Yeah, establish it first of all, say.
Yes.
Na nyuma fufuru bi wo ho a e wo se aban ye. Because say Saglemi asase 2,000 something acres. Na ye nwura. Ye kwaye.
Yes.
It is a woko na woko sisi dan 5,000 si kwaye mu a.
Yes.
Wa na e kwotena ho. Enu ti na wo se ye kwan.
Yes.
Ni ye drains, na nsuo to anya ba bi afa. Ye sewage. Ye recreational facilities. A community are made up of 5,000 houses. It's like a whole township. Not even Regimanuel or Trasaco has 5,000 houses in Accra. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So it's huge. So there are baseline and ancillary works. I was say yeah. Na etimi ama contractor na execute adwuma no. Na it sounds like my project na commercially viable. Si we no so bi ntidi sika nkoto bia
wakoto.
Na etimi ama ni pass what na why then aye habitable. Now about EPC agreement na Parliament approval law ni wie honorable Yiti Mensah sign na yaka ho asem na. Check paragraph 3.2 of this agreement, right of way and facilities. Was subject to the satisfaction of all the conditions set forth in this agreement. A. The employer, document and check it, page 11. The employer shall bear all the costs. The employer here is the government of Ghana.
The government of Ghana
shall bear all the costs and charges for any and all off-site infrastructure necessary for the contractor to freely access the sites and execute the works, including but not limited to water, electricity, telephone, roads, sewage, drainage, and such similar facilities. And in Yama way no agreement and say was a ban ya kwan, ye drains, ye sewage, ye electricity, your telephone systems, and any other facilities, including off-site facilities.
Yes.
But Parliament approve your infrastructure and $200 million now, almost 5,000 houses. So you know what happened? In this agreement, Honorable E.T. Mensah decided say Sanyama na enka ho no or the nina ba beka ho.
or the Nina Babe Kahon saying,
Yan for $200 million in a year.
E.T. Mensah took that decision so moto.
Not so moto. For me, I don't see anything wrong with that because where decision now will take here now. Eventually,
Yes.
Nebe lead you to 5,000 houses. Abra abayin fasike biyan shemu biem. And unti so what page 1, the first page of the agreement honorable E.T. Mensah signed na. Ubehu se we wakana wo clearly. Say sa infrastructure cost ya parliament exclude ye no. Or the aba be ka ho. Na sa nyema bebrebe we nyina.
Penyu be the can asem. Let's end it here. Let's just end it here. Obit my friend 004951 Thomas, I see me phone line. Okay, what's my friend 00491516659466. I have about thousands of messages to read concerning this issue. But the ministers are making messages in be not young queen and me queen na ye be biano so not ye kind idea at the account. I'm going to screen from me and then producer we back question means I'm going to produce you be one month suja fighting for everything. I see the way. Let me start from. I can't course not here, but I mean, okay. This call not young queen. Thomas F. I'm picking Thomas. That means Thomas was okay. Thomas.
Could you good afternoon?
Good afternoon.
Ya chiao ne wa tiefo nyina.
Tiefo nyina so joso.
Ya ma juma pasoni ya juma den awo ye.
Na me sure so.
Yeah, could you the point is in fact this guy of Sami Jenfino a time to come he can sell the country Ghana for us pa o. Nya asem ketua o.
Adendra.
Onim said ye kasa boko onim said ye kasa when it comes to the way of discussing things now. Just say obeka semuma if you don't know him in fact you be believing.
But how do you know something?
Media I don't know him because media only say me hunu or yiso near the other me nimno.
Okay.
Yeah because one say yeah more Ghana ne bia money. But there he's not my favorite in all communication because or Kasakra na don't listen, you understand?
Okay.
Because on Kanokre in our Kanokre so he on can in such a way say favor Ghana what you see. Intino like kakreya na o ma yetie no so hwe de wuya or chira die nim so that means they don't want the country good so wow unipa E.T. Mensah say the money was approved including all those things including all the infrastructures no so what you say in this case no what say those time of E.T. Mensah no there na nka omo wa adwen power o man so but we have some people bia akoye say whatever the country will go no they don't care because one who say imagine amount of money and omaje ombetumu dia ye niema na konanim so na entuman drusa na wow party member kasa denentisa no say no say they will sanction him. Yes. Look at all this.
I say E.T. Mensah in trouble as NDC member files petition against his anti-party behavior, and it's all based on Metro TV. So
look at all this. That means, in fact, Ghana, dear, you were a long way to go. You were a long way to go because these are the two parties here. When MPP gone, they are coming to take it back. And see how they are going to rule it again. So that means the country will go back. The country will go back. This year and in fact could you accept
okay.
Because now MPP so na ya wojidi wo they are messing up. They are messing up. Oh, they have messed everything up. Sisi nipa na ye neka ye mfanse ye kujo ye Europe de ne wo interest one anemu papa ne believe no. Oh, me say a time came Mahama Baha ye ko hro ni sa. Oh, na basu dia be hwe. Nana bapa said ye ube me say ka Europe has a ye njai ye juma nko baabi enso nana ba Europe pa said ye si jai ye juma uwo Dortmund be faka akra ko Berlin akohia no. Chale me say nya asem kitu onso no nana ba. Look at how they are doing. Before they have not come, I say, any yeba yebema Europe, ye juma yeba yebema mube to aba mube yese. Look at 4 years now. Ropa. Yeah. When they were in opposition, they remember to do all these things. But when they came to power, no, they have forgotten everything. More MPP for Kramuka. The whole Europe, Ghana citizen, and so when they get the power now, they don't care about we in abroad. They don't care again. Could you look at all these things? Air costume so on. The air costume there, the Piper touch any of the Omo because Oma Biabem could you answer?
You that's me.
Yet touch the white you ever saw Basu.
Mati.
Minja or no be soon Fabi.
Mati. Also, bet my friend Rajon Chili about 00491516659466 00491516659466. Now was what Fernando Rajon Chili our better Jumadi but a WhatsApp call to Fra no my foul but call now so Betty also what can was in Simbia I will to J Mensah they say the party for some Kenyan because or can Simbia Mujili said is against the no say as a party or can was a party don't count the year events in your bema what is his name Goku and the Unibi and almost almost 80 Mensah is here 80 Mensah in trouble as NDC member files petition against his anti-party behavior in the charge of the autonomous say almost in the behavior no or ya no say a party no one can was winning be into the behavior anti-party behavior and no decision on what take it on a honorable 80 Mensah as a party near Britain they said I be in some can events a UTV and it's my main question so quickly. I mean for inside politics. Your time when you ask me quickly. Mean for inside politics. Don't so what asking inside politics.
Master Kujo.
Yes, how?
I can't say.
Aduma.
There be a Watamu. There be a Watamu. Huh?
Say and number some things and binds and problems. What hear we?
Offer your time will be.
Mr. I'm coming from every Monday coming from a time with you. Is a Muslim weekend? Muslim weekend, America has a weekend that you heard the very weekend. Why?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm with Tranquil. Kakra. Kudo.
Yes, sir.
I'm chairman of what here for. Now, Mr. Say, we say no. Obina akwaya na adie say no kure senya no kure say ejina court wa iti mention my friend say Dauda say on the defense lawyers no money adie.
Yes, exactly.
No party for na omo agisa asem we acheste ebonu protest owo mutiso no money omo na enu so ni say
ni nyina say omo si iti mensa ka asem bia enya no kure but before then na iti mensa be kasa kwa na enya no kure no I'm sure say finish statement iti mensa make reference to hono came from the NDC party based on that no be ka say that be sim mo kan nya sanete na say na but some of you still have a defense say no what they are saying is right and he wants to prove to it say
asem no e court ya charge obi say no kure say omo Dauda so nya akwala
Dabi former works and housing minister
yes etino obe prepare akwa ko face kwadu bia ya dia bon no ayebe what different no na mche say party for na Sami Jamfia or young prayer conference any party for now or more asumu eternity no I don't know mentions here oh our Ghana hopa ayaliga maybe or call separate for you what you know said you na Canada Japan the parliamentary for ni na mu nyina dua kire kogu police station wo ay individual matter ana now woman yani oh w kujo ana na ye democracy ni say
okay
ana
yo mate
oh fine
Benjamin so about something because I can pick Benjamin on the other side. I mean, but do picture some Benjamin.
Hello, Brakuju.
Yes, saying.
Na dum no mpa.
Asema da bi so wetie pa anti na wa fra quickly ja no.
Oh. Yes, I start.
Okay.
We live in a democratic
dispensation, yes.
Now, there's a man for tears. Assembly, the right to comment, to, if you like, criticize the issue, talk about the issue, and even if you like, you can hold your peace. And he said, Nipano or ye nipa kesi ana nipa kitwa ana whatever it is. Everybody, including Sami Jamfi, has the right to comment on national issues.
Yes.
Because the issue involves borders on the Ghanaian taxpayers' money. And the Obia, including Sami Jamfi, has the right and reserve the right to speak on those matters. Now, having said that, what can't mean and be with regard to the Saglemi issue.
Yes.
And then, Okana Semeno, the then sector minister,
Mensah, yes,
came to, if you like, rubbish Nyama Wokikan.
Should you use the word rubbish? Let's say he came to also say the side of the story.
Not the side of the story. He said palpable falsehood. He doesn't know why people can lie like this. So this is a direct attack on what the
gentleman came to say.
Said. So it is his word against what Sami Jamfi also put out there. And how do we set the record straight?
Unless Sami Jamfi come to clarify all that he said.
I would have even expected the neutrals to have gone into the records, because a Dina Yasia to before the commencement of that Edina, there has been proceedings which have been captured on record. And those records, they are public records, i.e., a parliamentary Hansard.
Sami Jamfi begins in the year
regarding this project for our record.
Yeah.
And Sami Jamfi came back with what we call further and better particulars to support his earlier claim of what have transpired. I don't see how this constitutes Sami Jamfi being a danger to Ghana's democracy and idea of it not Maya and Obeton. You see, people can easily jump at you.
Benjamin.
Yeah.
I just said Nana Boatin Bezo can be Gakra. I mean quickly, but hold on me. Nana.
Bang. There's a what I said. Better particulars was particulars now. Sami Jamfi ebese o chemuche nyina ne say. Yati ase say a 18 months project. Say 4 phases. say a period of time, say a day, 18 months project. And you know, Dabi. And I said, challenge echo. And you know, say four phases. Next year, no, 3 months, yeah. Say 2 months, yeah. At the end of 18 months, you know. As a Sanya women in an area, a complete. And I watch the moon and Sase and Shon and Kanya and Munya Jade. Then you know, including the amount of the money. And you know, I did a comment in a Savage of you, everybody, a year so important, sir. Oliver Canta, yeah, Papa UK.
Ubisana question on the Onyano. Okay, Benjamin Bacho, which me Yano.
Yo, Midanasi. It is of public record. Say the amount approval. And yes, I'm meeting Finneca. These are parliamentary Hansards captured in black and white.
Yes.
Ya can say. Sikana ya approval does not include infrastructure. It does not include land. No. Roads are yebeye ewo sa facility no. Ese aban ena eko hwehwe sika foforo bi edi yesa asan. Ensure ebeba the building no no. Aban na ese oko hwehwe. These are all captured in the parliamentary Hansard coming from the committee and approved at the preliminary. And yet, some medium feet in the air. And in America, say the neutrals, a year in Crawford who have the interest in parliamentary Hansard, a public record. Everybody can go and pull it. I expect even people like Kwakuba Kunomuni to pull it and bring it. Electricity, is not included in the Ikano approval. Telecommunications are a Yenusu, whatever, all the auxiliaries, and capture. And this was what Samijefi put out there before. And now, Yiti Mensah by and or can't say Samijefi or Entropo and as a word intro. Samijefi came back.
Benjamin, I mean, friends, and that point very well. 0.5. I say under the works agreement, government was supposed to provide service plots of land with road, water, electricity, drainage, sewage system, and other ancillary facilities for the smooth takeoff of the project. This was what Sami Jemfi said, which I mean, I say. The cost of which had not been factored into the amount of the $200 million approved by Parliament for the project, since government did have any fund to fall on that discharge this responsibility. Okay, they don't. The cost of which had not been factored into the amount of $2 million approved by the Parliament for the project. It is a light. It was all factored into the amount,
Exactly. Yeah. Enti asemna ye kani nyina no obi nka se ma ye mfa obi nkokot. Amanfo mfa obi ankokot. But what we are saying is that everybody reserves the right to speak to national issues. Enti se obi aka or only part of the national issues and his understanding of it. Na obi ba no can say national issue no wo abeka we en trofo. For example, me be can say in Nkrumah and a lady Ghana into independence. Na yenya independence 6 March 1957. Na obi be frame me say me in trofo purple liar and whatever, you don't understand why people can lie like this. And then it is incumbent on me to protect my reputation. And if my reputation is being injured now, I reserve the right to come with particulars are Eddie Chere. Yes, true, Nkrumah and a lady into independence. And it was on 6 March 1957 that Ghana was declared independent.
Okay, so in this vein, what was I just saying? What was I just saying? Sami Jemfi must come out with all the particulars to defend what the ET Mensah Ekan. Is that not what you're trying to imply?
No, the point is Sami question interview ET Mensah. Most of them, was emanating from what Sami Jemfi put out there.
Yes. Now I'm saying, sir,
in answering to what Sami Jemfi put out there,
Benjamin, Benjamin. After the interview, now ET Mensah Sami Jemfi has come out again to talk, and that was what I was playing. And based on that, and Ode Kasa, and I'm saying, sir, that means Sami should come to defend, say, ET Mensah Kasa, the Okadinya in trouble. He must get the better and further particulars to come and prove, say, the ET Mensah Kasa, is that not it?
Yeah, the whole thing is simple.
Yes.
The facts speak to itself. Say, Yankoshe Parliamentary Hansard, this date and that date.
Within that period, no?
Yanshe page,
yes.
Yanshe paragraph,
yes.
So that it is not issue of what Sami Jemfi is saying or what ET
Mensah is saying, yes.
So that we, the descending listeners, will see where the fact lies. Is it true, say, the approval of the loan, can say, we have to build that 5,000 as a goal, or the record
say we should build it in phases.
Hello?
No, I was just trying to add up to what we were saying. So that was mommy.
Yeah, so the whole issue has to do with the fact that Maka said Jesus had 12 disciples. Obibeka said, Mimi Trofo. So I brought the Bible, which has it. Say, who call Deuteronomy, whatever. Obian really not unsatisfied. Who say, Enyemi Benjamin America or Sami Jemfi Eka. These are the gospel truth. It has nothing to do with the issue at the court. Court, everybody reserves the right to speak about it. The only thing is that you cannot be judgmental. You cannot preempt the outcome. So the issue, you reserve the right to speak about these issues in court. And see, why people think, say, because it is emanating from Sami Jemfi, we should nail him, disregard him, and all that kind of thing. I'm not pushing everybody to like Sami Jemfi. But what I would encourage people to do, and he said, instead of calling him, say, Obet Miabo or mine, and now Obet Ton Ghana.
Now, Benjamin.
Whatever he comes to say, let me land on this.
Okay.
Whatever he comes to say,
come. Bacha me bao, nana boate me ba. Benjamin bacha we.
Yeah. Whatever Sami comes to say, or anybody comes to say, if you have disagreements, bring your version, which is a superior argument. That makes Sami Jemfi a culpable liar or whatever it is. But coming to just say it is a blank check. You should have brought also your side of the story. If you have any particulars that will prove to the point, say it was captured during the agreement, say it was going to be at a go, and that government was not going to take care of the land, the roads, the water, electricity, telecommunications, and what have you.
And about my cousin, you, but what we?
And the mimic and interesting times are ahead.
Okay.
And see, Obaya su wadi ubu ema yiti Mensah. And yes, wani nu ebe kunta.
Dabi.
Who say fatanu edi man.
Yes.
And yes, Oba be that he was coming to test his reputation.
Okay.
Which was being attacked.
Okay. My call a friend saying nana bot answer me call hono na Benjamin and make some reference but me instead that statement I say the time whether it was on a go or it was in phases this was what Sami Jemfi came out from the document now provided, and this is what the statement I'll make here saying. It is instructive to note that the Minister of Works and Housing at that time, which is Honorable E.T. Mensah, informed Parliament during the debate on the approval of the loan facility that the 5,000 housing units will not be built at a go, but rather over a period of time. That is in phases. This is how Sami Jefi put the whole statement.
Could you?
Yes, Nana Wati.
E.T. Mensah. Not dream. Idea in phases, a period of time on a year. Or did to me say 1 year, 8 months, Obey we say, Juma. So I say, and no, what about the challenges and jumping what's in the baby. And I said, jumping, Emma references, and nobody E.T. Mensah. And we want to swap up one thing a bit to say. There's some more canon. And next time, a year.
Okay.
1 year, 8 months, Say in face show, period of time, Akayo, issue, Sikana, Yaji, a bit my year. We know trouble our own energy. I say, I send me a walk out. NDC for a give and take. Ben, Magia send me a give and take. Pay on no dream with you when you say amount to no bet me affinity project, or bet me finishing, 1 year. And the more in the future, and my papa can enjoy that ABC. Okay, as some about no. Somebody that feels so no papa, what's in the baby dream? Could you or you have a country of state and I told you? Now, when my reference are what bonny D, yes, to come out, not to dear or name uncle, no uncle, or still I know or continue a Jumana, a commitment is canaya, and I'll arbitrate me. And to could you set and I know Oka Doctor and a program neighbor.
I don't program.
Okay. And that's it. Ben.
Okay.
When you give and take in this.
Okay, you that's it.
Sir, when you be anymore, what to be Dauda. Timon bye.
Yo, it has to be
later.
It has to be Benjamin. Conclude my why now. Your time not so crowded.
With the NDC for Alpha, as I think say point no na
yes.
Any issue of national interest, I think we should all understand. Say everybody, say we don't have our market, say we dealer, say we politicians, say we footballer. Everybody has the right and reserves the right to speak to national issues.
Yes.
And you also reserve the right to be quiet. And also where you're right. It is Obia Bekana said, na Obi Beka say, or you throw phone or then how people can lie this way and Miniamaya. Obi Woha Pomfi, Obi Suwoha, he wants to prove his point.
Yes.
At least we are all responsible for the statements we make. And he said, my making statements be not Obiaba no or Kase. Some make and yes, I net here. Now, me so me go into the records and understand. Say, some make I true. Then I can retract and apologize.
Okay.
And ensure that it doesn't repeat itself. But if the fact speak to what supports what I said, I think that I have an integrity to protect.
Of course.
And that integrity, certainly will push me to bring the facts out. Now, Nyamincha, the Assembly, they are there for public record.
Yeah.
No interest NDC for Akosia Assembly Afa Nasa Bibisa. And NDC any at war with E.T. Mensah. He has served the party, he has served his country.
Yes.
And it does not mean say the fact that he has occupied positions before, he cannot err. People can get it wrong all the time. We all get it wrong all the time. And if anything as the speaker said, I check, so he can refresh his memories on some of these issues.
Yes.
Go to Paragraph Way, go to Hansard's Way, who call refresh here. I think say he will also do that. And at the appropriate time, he'll come to say, oh, my interactions with Oladumoche, I had certain things. I mean, I didn't get certain facts right. But it is true, say, social and so took place. Yes or no, you gain more respect.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but Benjamin, per this, do you think it was right, Ombus tagging as anti-party behavior as in what he is doing as at now? Was it too early?
For me, it is too early unless people have certain things which are going on in the background which I am not privy to.
Because on all their facts, they base all their facts on the fact say in some of on a poor much interview course war TV sorry Metro TV and they base their fact on say for that reason he is against is anti-party behavior, and for me I think it's too early.
Yeah, for me, one say, let me say, I think say the removal of your friend saying E.T. Mensah, some Jata George winning that primary.
Yes,
I think the aftermath, the before, during, and after that primary, I think certain things were not well managed.
Okay.
I thought that looking at his tax channel, a room revenue, so you can see on the ground say in constituents, and this is a fresh guy or back forcefully. But somewhere along the line, in throwing your support behind one person or the other, certain utterances, I think say some of them we should try and manage some of these things. So that people are not deeply hurt.
Okay.
But having been hurt, after all this while, people should let things, die down naturally.
All right.
Time is a healer.
Okay.
Time is a healer.
All right.
There are people who lose elections and carry bitterness into the future, and I don't think that is very helpful.
Okay.
Until the mechanic said, Ajubreo. Managing Yamadi now. They shouldn't experience any spillover.
Okay, all right, you. Benjamin, better was no time on your at my. Enjoy your weekend as well.
Yeah.
Okay. All
right.
Mati. Pascal, the home for no mumpa cashing round. Okay. Okay. The Benjamin here turning kind of Benjamin. Thank you very much. Oh, I'm going quickly. Mensah, Asem, the okay, Asem.
Mania.
Come up one is my just 2 minutes now for room. Now, uncle.
Mate, me that's it.
Quickly.
You mentioned Benjamin. And the Minia, I understand. And support and the one will be away.
Okay.
Yeah, and what you have Pascal Samame.
Look at you.
Unia, the one you need you will be in now.
Okay.
On the Mahama, he's treading on a rough path. And saying, so per se, Ubiara or be challenging in 2024 elections, or cripple in our hands.
Oh, but
in the way we.
But do you think E.T. Mensah about challenge Mahama?
Thank you.
Oh, I'm not sure.
E.T. Mensah, Mahuna what channel? E.T. Mensah on a preferred candidate.
Okay.
In terms of be about challenging or not. Oh, so we are doing real politics. It's Mahama no so ni nyina, na nkofo ni won ni nyina. So obiara just obe challenging or not. One person one cripple those people ni nyina. Na senebe ya one onya sa challenge no. Enti one yes one person we say the same we say if on the E.T. Mensah because E.T. Mensah or dumpa pa na ɔno so ɔka sɛ ɔden ɔbaake obi a na ɔnya akɔnɔ so no necessary ɔbɛyɛ a forefront runner against Mahama. Now Mahama Oshana make say Mahama he's just a baby, but he thinks like a baby. Anything no. Yeah. Oh yeah. No Mahama. He thinks like a baby. Yeah. Anything no. Or the same. Do I on those people no. Won't need at the same. You can't say when you need so won't need at the same. One dream of from no. One thinking caps of very well at the lowest ebb no. And the air, yes, one man I train. The new house no in politics no the same people no once na a unity form.
Okay.
So Mahama will never be an NDC candidate. Hey. He will never be NDC candidate. Yes.
You know, I have you on record. I have you on record on this same message. And today we are live on Facebook and I have you there as well. May say coming 2024. I won't say 2024 is 2024 is too far because definitely we'll go to primaries before they will start the main election. So definitely this will be somewhere 2023 or 2022. So we know by then who is going to be the flag bearer for the new Democratic Congress, the party. So I have you on record. Say Mahama ain't my flag bearer. And the party. You, yate.
And also I'm a president of Ghana bio forever. That's it.
You. Asem NDC nipa na akasa no
either unim
yes
either ye pe abagba me and exanoto and yeah baby yeah and exanoto I want take it any
yo
yeah pe Mahama and no be ticket bia
bagba me
menia breko yamba ma de be share so cha okoso cha ba wa ho
mbra me cash me ba
That's it.
Okay, all right, you, Mati.
That's you.
I said, me ten kind of. Papa, you made him fancy. I mean, sure, will be our friend. It was just a boy, you yeah, in fact, many so be brave. But, say them can kind. We are still taking our contribution. You between their boy, you between their bar. Numbers in here 023324418763702441876370. Some about weekend. Charlie. Yeah, but you didn't cash it. You know, some of me everybody are more support here. Get to be you can come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You might be see your Facebook live, your YouTube live. We are advancing gradually. Internet na na but any is stable. Pa, you call Facebook, your YouTube, your hobby is stable. As a month for air, share, month for them comedy. I mean to make a time not soon we. Beside the personal request between me see me body cam. I image you maybe what bit my do body cam here too. I'll be very appreciative with the personal request. In Yamidi, what Ghana with a Juma now, but I need it